Christmas can be a very stressful time of the year for many, and one of the biggest causes for stress during the holiday season is the financial aspect. Even though Christmas arrives at the same time every single year, so many of us put off thinking about it, at least the financial aspect, until December. So come December, so many people are scrambling, trying to figure out how they're going to pay for Christmas and the Christmas season. Or worse, they just put everything on their credit card and then vow to pay for it after the new year, or vow to figure it out after the new year and after the Christmas crazy rush has gone. Does this sound familiar? Does this scenario just sound like it hits a little too close to home? I know for me, it definitely does. Several years post-college, I not only didn't even think about the financial aspect of Christmas, I just assumed that I would put everything on my credit card and pay for it later. And that's just how I paid for Christmas for many years and just never thought twice about it. But throughout the years, and especially throughout our debt-free journey, I found a better way, and that's by creating a Christmas savings fund that you save all year for Christmas so you don't have the stress. This is also called a sinking fund. Now, before I get into the video, I just want to remind you to please like, share, comment, subscribe, all the fun things if you like the content on this channel and if you want to keep seeing the content on this channel. So, as many of you know, my husband and I don't use sinking funds anymore. And the only reason why we don't use them anymore is because pretty much we can cash flow most things these days. And before, we weren't able to do that. So with a Christmas savings plan, also known as a sinking fund, basically what you're doing is putting a little bit aside every month or from every paycheck or from every bonus, whatever it is, each month, so that come December, you're not scrambling to come up with a large sum of money. So no more stressing about the finances of Christmas and no more ringing in the new year with new debt. That is going to be a thing of your past. Now, a lot of times when people are coming up with their Christmas budget, they're only thinking about the gifts. And while this is a really, really great place to start because often gifts are the most expensive part of Christmas, I challenge you to come up with a budget for your entire Christmas season. Trust me, having a paid for Christmas and Christmas season is the best gift you can possibly give yourself. So let's talk about a few things that you might need to save for the holiday season. First up, we have gifting. As I said, this is often the bulk of Christmas spending. So some of the things you might need to gift for, or some of the people you might need to gift for would be family, friends, coworkers or subordinates, teachers, a nanny, your hairdresser, your housekeeper, any sort of hostess gifts. So even if you're not throwing holiday parties of your own, you might want to consider bringing hostess gifts to those who are throwing parties, not only to give them a little holiday gift, but also to thank them for all the hard work they put in. And then finally, in the gifting category, we have charities or toy drives or any sort of giving trees. As we all know, the holidays are a huge time of year to do a lot of giving, so we do want to keep this in our gifting category if we can afford it. Next up, we have decorations. I'm going to go ahead and include wrapping supplies in the decorations category. Wrapping paper, bows, ribbons, tape, all that stuff. A lot of people don't include in their budget, but this stuff adds up. Then of course we have home decor, home holiday decor, any trees, if you buy live trees, any wreaths, any lights, because we always know there seems to be a strand that just died since last December. And then also I'm going to include electric bill in here because you may see an increase in your electric bill depending on how many lights you have. Next up, we have entertaining. So if you are hosting a holiday party, you want to consider things such as food, alcohol, or even games that you may have, anything that you need for your holiday party. Next up, and number 4 on the list, is Christmas cards. So a lot of families like to get professional photos done for their cards, so you may need to consider hiring a photographer and keeping that in mind with your budget. And then of course the actual cards. So whether you're buying pre-made cards at a store or you're getting them printed with photos, you need to budget for that. And of course you need to budget for stamps for those cards. And then possibly you might need to budget for clothing if, say, maybe if you're getting a photo done and you want matching pajamas or outfits or whatever it is, maybe you decide to budget for that. Next up is miscellaneous traditions, specifically ones that cost money. And if you want me to create a video about things that you can do at Christmas time for free or maybe very cheap, go ahead and comment below and let me know, and I will create a future video for you. But for this, there are some traditions that your family might have that do cost some money. So I just want to point some of those out, and then you can see if this is something you need to budget for. So some examples might be ice skating. You might have the skating rentals or just the admission fee. Maybe you get some hot chocolate, anything like that. Maybe you like to take your children to breakfast with Santa, or maybe you love creating gingerbread houses. So you buy a gingerbread making house kit, or maybe you get one professionally done at a bakery. And finally, lastly, which can be the most expensive part of Christmas, is travel. If you need to travel to see family or friends for Christmas. So you have to consider your flights, and maybe you need a taxi to take you to the airport. Maybe you need to get a hotel, or if you're driving, you need to think about things like gas or tolls. So when you're creating your overall Christmas budget, these are just some of the categories to consider when creating your Christmas savings plan. Now, I swear I don't say this to overwhelm you. I say this all to prepare you so that come December, you can fully enjoy the wonderful holiday and Christmas season. Now, I can't protect you from your aunt asking you when you're gonna get married, or your in-laws asking you when you're gonna have a baby, or even your drunk uncles fighting over politics at Christmas dinner. I'm a budget expert. I am not a magician. So hopefully creating this budget will at least financially make you be able to enjoy the holiday season. So after you take into consideration all of those categories that are relevant to you, your situation, and your family, you're gonna come up with an all-in Christmas savings plan. Now, how much you choose to budget for Christmas is very, very personal. I know you can go on Pinterest or YouTube or Google and kind of look up starting points or ideas of how much to spend. A lot of people want to know, how much should I spend per child? And there are plenty of resources online that you can find, but please just know how much you choose to spend is very personal, and it's based on what you can afford, your situation, your priorities, and at the end of the day, it's totally up to you. So lastly, once you come up with that number, let's get into what that savings plan is going to look like. Okay, so in my example here, let's go ahead and look at the 6-month section. So let's pretend our budget for Christmas is $500. So if we look at $500 and we come across, we're 6 months out, that would mean you need to save $83 per month in order to hit that $500 goal by December. Or maybe you want a $1,000 budget, so you would need to save double, which is $167 a month. Please keep in mind, these numbers are rounded to the closest dollar, just so you know. So let's take that $500 and let's pretend that it's January and you have 12 months to save for Christmas. So if that's the case, you only have to save $42 a month. or about $10 a week to get you to that Christmas goal. So you can see the longer out you save, the less you have to save up for come Christmas. So here's a chart. I'm gonna leave this on the screen for a few minutes just so you can see it, or a few seconds. I won't leave it for a few minutes. But over here, I have what your Christmas fun goal is, and there are several numbers. And if your number isn't here, of course, just divide the number by either 12, 9, 6, 3, or whatever the month may be, how many you're out from December. And then as you just go across, you can see how much you have to save depending on how many months are left until Christmas. So these numbers right here represent how many months are left until Christmas. So, as I said, and as you can see, the earlier you start, the less intimidating that saving up for Christmas has to be, because the less you have to save per month. Now, I would like to suggest that if you are saving up for Christmas, that you keep a separate savings account, or you keep this money completely separate. So for me, I actually recently opened an Ally savings account. So they have something called buckets, and basically buckets are sinking funds, and they're kind of tempting me to go back to sinking funds just because they're so fun. But that's a great example of what you can do, is just have a separate section in your savings account, or open a savings account, a tandem savings account, something like that, where you can put that money. And then you're just assured that you're not going to touch it or be tempted to touch it before December. All right, that's it. That's my entire video. I hope this helps. I hope this motivates you to create that Christmas savings plan so that you can finally enjoy the Christmas season this year financially stress-free. Thank you once again for checking out my video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for all the good vibes. All right, I'll see you in the next one, friends. Bye.